Finally, all the tile is done, and now it's time to grout. Hey guys, welcome to Dedicated. My name is Andy, and this is part of my bathroom remodel series where I'm fully remodeling this bathroom. If you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button and let's begin. The very first thing you need to do is go through all the grout joints and clean any necessary spots from the cement. During this time, you will also attempt to remove any of the spacers that you used for your joints. I like to use a utility knife, which works very well. Since the blade is cheap and replaceable, I don't mind damage it. But there are other tools available that I'll have the links in the description below. In addition, you'll also need a margin trowel, a grout float, a bucket of water with a sponge, and a grout in an empty bucket. Now, typically big grout joints with an 1/8 or greater will use sanded grout, and smaller joints smaller than an 1/8 of an inch will use an unsanded grout. In this case, I'll be using sanded grout. Pour some grout into a clean bucket, preferably start with a small amount. Slowly take a sponge of water and add to it. Start mixing using the margin trowel and continue to slowly add more water until you get to this consistency, kind of like a little peanut butter. It has to be wet enough but not too runny, but at the same time not too dry to where it's not like, I don't know what to compare it to. Make sure you do real small batches, especially if this is your first time, until you get the hang of it. Dump 2 small piles of grout onto the tile. Start from the farthest corner in the room and work your way towards the door. You'll use a rubber float to push the grout into the grooves and use it to collect the excess grout on the tile. This way you're not wasting too much grout and you're spreading it evenly across all the joints. However, it's okay if you do miss a couple spots here and there because you can collect it during the washing stage. Continue to spread the grout throughout the entire floor until you use it all up in the bucket. This is why you want to start with a small amount, especially for the first time. That way you're not working a big area and it doesn't dry up on you. Because if you make too much, then by the time you use it all up, it will be too dry and it'll be much more difficult washing it off. After you finish grouting that portion, get a bucket of clean water and a big yellow sponge. I'll have the links in the description below. Wear some gloves and try to wash a small area to see if the grout is ready to be washed. If it washes out too easily out of the groove, then it's not ready. But if it's washing out fine, again, you don't want to wait too long because then it'll be harder to wash it if it's too dry. When washing the grout, make sure you wring out the sponge so that it's not wet and it doesn't have a lot of water in it, because you don't want to, again, leave too much water into the grout because that could cause some discoloration in your grout in the future. Typically, I like to first wash off the excess grout from the tile, then rinse the sponge and wash the same tile or the same area again to clean it up. Go through this process tile at a time until you wash the entire floor. Washing the shower floor follows the same technique. It just may take a little bit longer and a little bit more rinses of the sponge because you have more grout joints closer together to wash off. At the end, once the entire floor is grouted and washed, you would want to get a clean bucket of water and do one more wash. Except this time, you want to wash one tile at a time per side of the sponge. So you wash one tile, then you wash another tile by flipping it, the sponge upside down, then you rinse the sponge and you do that again. This way it ensures that you don't have any haze left over after it's all dry. Again, if this is your first time and you still have a haze, you might want to repeat that cycle again after waiting a couple hours for the grout to dry even more. That way you're not spreading the wet grout each time you're washing. Well, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe for more bathroom remodel videos, and I'll see you next time.